that gets me into kind of my next concept for handling this. Okay, which is the tight front. So the tight front is something, that there's a lot of resources out there for. We did a video on it. There's lots of stuff out there. And it's starting to become more popular in the CFL and the Canadian game. It's a non-traditional solution. It kind of is built and designed to defend RPO football. So it is something that you would have to theoretically add to your defense. I really like it. I'm probably more bullish on it than many people are, because I think it causes problems for offensive coordinators. As a guy who's called a lot of offense, a lot of the things in this front really stress me out. So defensively, I think it's something that people should look into and do some more research on. How much you sell out into it is about the players you have and how you think it fits into what you defend. If you don't defend very much RPO, then maybe it's a wrinkle you can use. If you defend a lot of RPO and a lot of mobile quarterbacks, in my opinion, it's a great solution. So the way the tight front works, and again, just to save a little bit of time, because I know we've been going for a while now, and I got a little bit more I want to hit on. Okay, the tight front is basically a 4-eye 0-4-eye. Now, this isn't drawn up as a 4-eye 0-4-eye. This is drawn up as the next escalation. Okay, which we call our eat front. We'll get to that in a sec. But if this was a true tight front, you'd have the quick inside. Okay, and that's your two defensive ends are gonna play the B gaps. Okay, they're those 4 eyes. They're going to play the Bs. Your nose is going to lag behind the center. So what does that mean? If the center steps this way, the nose goes straight ahead and funnels into the backside A gap. Center steps this way, the nose goes straight ahead, funnels into the backside A gap. The nose can also cheat if you get an early running back, a preset running back. He can also cheat or slant to the side of the running back. You don't have to do that, but if you have younger players, it's a simple way to do it. And the mic is going to play off the nose. So if we got flow to the field here, okay, and the nose went in the backside A and the left A gap, the mic is going to play through the front side A and vice versa. So that takes care of your A's and B gaps. What does this do? It gets, that's what I mean there by the mic is the fourth gap fitter. This gets your conflict players, what we call our field and boundary backer. They're in the C gap. So if they're going to be in conflict, at least they're playing the C gap in the run scheme. So now it's kind of like you have that, that delayed backer away from the back to both sides. Okay, so they have the C gap, and they're the quarterback player if run goes away. So if you are getting, zone read, that's important. You got to have a plan again to escalate that if that becomes a problem. But that's the basic structure of the front. We call our X. This is like the Iowa State stuff, the 3 safety. Our X is our Sam linebacker. And in terms of the pass distribution, we have our 3 down defensive linemen. Our Mike actually has the quarterback, so he's going to delay blitz off of, we have a number of ways to do it, but he has the quarterback, so he has no pass responsibility. Our X is going to relate to the running back in the pass distribution. So you see here, this gets us 4 on 3, 3 on 2, and then our X will make us right with if the back goes to the field, the X will add to the field coverage and vice versa. The X in our base stuff does not have a gap. If we get 2 back, now the X will fit off the fullback. So again, we're mostly looking at just spread right now, but the X would fit off the fullback to make you gap sound. C gap players in conflict, still a problem, but it's better than an A or B gap player, right? They're closer to their job. The way I kind of picture it in my mind is that now I have a slant route behind me and a run game concept in front of me, but I'm halfway between both jobs. So now I have, once the quarterback makes a decision, I'm halfway between both. I can get to one or the other. If I'm in the box and then the quarterback makes a decision, I got to get all the way to the slant route. Or if I'm out of the box and then the quarterback makes a decision, I got to get all the way to my gap. By putting in the C gap, it limits that conflict, although, I'll be the first to admit it still exists. You can still read that guy and make it a challenge. And pass rush is a challenge out of this front, right? You have 2 4 eyes. That is a challenge in pass rush. There's a lot of good film that I've seen of getting some pass rush out of this. If this is your base defense, you're going to need some pressures, and out of a 30, you have a ton of options. One of the reasons why I like it is you have a lot of options as a play caller in terms of bringing pressures. But base 30, it's going to be a bit of a challenge getting home. So why do we have, this end drawn up in the C gap here? So we would play this end away from the back in a 5 technique. So if you want to get one C gap pass rusher, you can by taking the end away from the back, putting them in a 5 technique. So that gives you that C gap pass rush to one side, and they're going to play heavy if run shows at them. So again, this side here away from the back is the exact same as being away from the back in our other 40 examples. So when I go back here, okay, so our Sam linebacker here is playing the C gap and the end is heavy. That's the exact same when we get to our tight front here. This end is heavy, is going to play inside against the run when they're away from the back. When they're to the back, we're going to leave them in a 4-eye. A buddy of mine, Jake Zoll, is now down coaching at the University of Ohio. He put me onto this 2 years ago when he was helping me out with my summer program about playing the 4-eye away from or to the back in a 3 technique. And that's something I've seen be super successful in film. So you can even cheat the front a little bit more and reduce this guy to a 3 technique. It just forces the tackle to step down even farther. But that's why we have that guy there in the C. Okay, so he's still going to be B gap responsible against the run, and the boundary backer is going to be C gap responsible against the run. The X is an extra fitter if it's one back. So the X is going to be able to play the running back. So if you're playing a team that's, got a really good tailback and you think you might need 1.5 guys to tackle him, this is a great way to do it. Again, you're going to force the ball off the table. So you're not going to be able to get downhill with your zone read stuff. The 4-eye is going to force the ball front side. The nose is going to force the ball front side. That's playing to the mic, kicks it out to the end, kicks it out to the C gap. Now that backer should be able to close that out. Okay, so this is just it drawn up. All right, so the challenge here is your boundary backer is in conflict, right? So if the quarterback pulls it, whatever route concept they have on, okay, this boundary backer eventually is going to have to take the quarterback, or the flat player will have to take the quarterback. So if you're getting zone lock RPOs, you're not getting read RPOs, this is great. Okay, because the quarterback's not a run threat. You're able to force the ball off the table. If you are getting zone read, okay, then we'll get to our next concept I'll talk about in a sec. But you see this play out here. The mic is going to play front side. The nose is going to play backside towards the back. And hopefully we're going to force the ball off the table to this field backer or boundary backer. Okay, and I will say too, this is a little different. If you watch a lot of the tight front stuff in the States, they are very specific about formations. So, for example, when they play trips, the tight front doesn't look like this. Because of the 12th man, there's some differences. So if you're watching some of that tight front stuff, it's not, if I was playing American football, I would do it the other way. This is the simplest way to me in 12-man football. And this lets you play all your zone coverages, all your match coverages, which are obviously beneficial, especially if you're getting, vertical RPOs. So fix it concept. The challenge when you're playing a tight front is you want to make sure you have somebody or in that last tight front we showed, you want to have somebody for the RPO and somebody for the quarterback. Okay. So here we're getting, this could be zone read or zone lock. All right. And you have 2 stops. So let's play it as if it's zone read. The fix it call tells the X they're going to come down and they have the C gap away from the back. What this does is it kicks the boundary backer out. So the backer to the side of the running back, again, out of the fit. Okay. Now you can play 3-on-2 to this route concept. Awesome. Whatever the route concept is, if we're 3-on-2, whether it's zone or match principles, we should be in good shape. And we're able to defend those routes hard underneath at the sticks, force them to give the football. If we give the football, we're solid in the front. Again, this lag and 4-eye plays out very similarly to the 1 tech and the Mike linebacker and the 3 tech on the backside of the previous strategy. Okay. Now, if you give the football, our Mike should play the front side, and then our field backer will play into the C gap. Again, if you're getting full field RPOs, the field backer will have to hang a little bit. But again, he's, at least he's C gap conflicted. He's not conflicted on the interior. So it'll take a little longer for the ball to get to him. And then the X stepping up, he now becomes the quarterback player. So this is great if you have a really athletic quarterback. You get one of your best athletes on him instead of one of your defensive ends having to be that shuffle player. Now it's going to be that X from depth, and he can go get the quarterback through that C gap. and it makes it challenging offensively. You know, if you pull the football, now you're 3-on-2, and you have a great player matched up on the quarterback defensively. If you give the ball, you're solid in the box, and you're set with the fit. Again, all relying on your field backer's ability to play that C gap from depth. The other thing you can do with this is you can cheat the mic to the field. So you can play games with the mic and the front side defensive end. So you could spike this defensive end inside, loop the mic around. You could, similar to what we drew up, that old Western spike concept. That's another way you can kind of play with the fits, and put guys in a tough spot. Thanks I appreciate all the comments in the chat, guys. Again, if you have questions, throw them out there. Make sure you like the video. It'll help more people find it. So in terms of the fix it, this is it going the other way. Again, you're going to deter the full field RPO because this looks like you have a full cover down. Okay. Sorry. This looks like you have a full cover down. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 3, 1, 2, 3 over 2. So I drew this up with try lock. Okay. Quarterback's reading this slant, take it away with the field backer. Now we can double the other route if it becomes a vertical, however you want to play this. But again, you're 3-on-2. Okay. And now our X has the quarterback. So if you're getting full field RPOs, this to me is one of the best ways to handle it because you're presenting a pre-snap pitcher that looks like it's going to force the ball to be handed off. And if the ball is handed off, you're still going to get to that ultimate gap sound principle by dropping the X down into the run fit. And to me, this is a great way, especially if you're getting zone lock RPOs, to really try and play aggressive coverage underneath and jump those routes and force the ball to get given underneath.